Podcast. Rev here.
This is RJ.
And it is Monday, July 7th. I hope you guys had a great holiday weekend.
I know I did.
I did too. We kind of got wore out.
Well, we got super wore out, and I've got a really bad case. You can't see it.
Of the sunburn
because I am a pale ginger.
I got a mild case of sunburns, but
bad.
We helped a friend move over the weekend. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, we had a good day.
And it was, but I mean, I went to bed early. I didn't stay up and watch fireworks.
Nope.
I was in bed by 9:30.
I saw 2 fireworks go off, and that was, and I was
like, yeah. So, but tonight, you know what I'm doing tonight?
What are you doing tonight?
I'm gonna go see the little Gardens of the Galaxy.
17 minutes.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
17 minutes, not the whole thing.
I know, but I'm getting a cool poster.
That is always nice.
So, I'll have something to talk about.
It'll be all limited edition stuff. It'll go with all the other posters you have. You're gonna have to pay to get it framed.
I will pay to get it framed.
Well, I know that you're doing that, but we are doing Technology Bites.
All right,
for you
it's
guys.
Monday.
It's Monday.
It's Technology Bites. So let's start off with a little Tetris.
Didn't we already do that when we helped move?
We totally used our Tetris skills.
Yeah, we did.
But no, there's this shirt you can buy now.
I heard that they put LED a sheet of LEDs in there.
Now they're all the same color, so it's not as cool as it could be. But it's still pretty neat, and you get to touch yourself to play Tetris.
Now I guarantee you, once this thing goes into actual production mode, if they decide
they probably will do a multicolor LED.
You'll see it on ThinkGeek. I can guarantee it because the production company behind that stuff.
You know, if it's on ThinkGeek, it'll be $400.
It will be $1,000. You will be able to buy every version and copy of Tetris for cheaper than you'd be able to buy that shirt.
Yeah.
So, and then 3 months later, it'll be $2.
Yeah.
So that's how ThinkGeek works. So I heard you got a qualm.
I have a little bone to pick. So last week, Facebook Messenger did an update, and finally we got native support for the iPad.
Yes, we did.
Yay!
Except you're still bugged about it because
all my messages go to Facebook and Facebook Messenger, and I still have the chat bubbles in Facebook. I don't want both.
Basically, they haven't dropped the Facebook actual app update to sync Messenger with the other Facebook.
You should have dropped those at the same time. You should have waited, because now I'm annoyed, and because I like Facebook.
Well, here's one thing, and I'm an obsessive compulsive when it comes to this. I hate seeing the little red one. Any little red notification icon anywhere on my phone is going to drive me insane. So if I do this constantly while I'm at work, I use a combination of the Messenger on my phone and the actual one on the web. Well, if somebody sends me something and I mark it red on the web, I still have the annoying, horrible one sticking there on my Messenger app.
You have to open it and close it. And all you have to do is open it
and close it. But it's still annoying. It should know.
It should know.
The API from the website should talk to the app. That's all I'm saying. Throwing it out there, Facebook.
I agree.
You don't even have to charge me for that one.
I totally agree.
So, I'm not even going to charge you for that one. That's fine. They'll probably charge me for something. Facebook always wanting that money.
Well, you know they're under investigation.
I've
Facebook.
Heard, yes, for a lot of the things they've been doing with.
Well, they're trying to play with our fields. They're trying to play with our fields, and they're trying to do it for science, marketing science. And
they did a little psychology experiment.
Well, so the FTC's not real happy about that.
Nope.
But what's ironic is people are trying now to figure out, so do we hold enterprises, businesses, corporations, things that are for profit
as a person
to the same standards as academia when it comes to stuff like this? Because from an academic standpoint, they completely broke all the ethical boundaries.
Every single ethical rule in the book. Even sociologists were going, whoa!
But this isn't an academic endeavor.
It's not. It's the internet. Technically, you can do whatever you want to.
And that's the real conundrum. They broke no law. So, I understand, but Facebook has broke no... Well, we don't think they broke laws. We'll find out.
Technically, they didn't break any laws.
They're being investigated. Somebody might create a law for them to have broken. We'll see. But the point is, it really... do we hold them to that standard? Do we hold them to the academic standards of ethics? And I think we should. I
think that we should draw up some new rules for this personally. Because I don't think that any of the academic standards actually fully apply.
And I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to see new rules.
I think you will. You'll see a new law because people got really upset.
But yeah, so Facebook's. They got Facebook money. They don't care.
That's the biggest thing, They don't give a crap.
They really don't. Mark's like, whatever.
You're already on Facebook. What are you going to do? Leave? Go ahead.
And people are coming back.
Yeah.
Amongst the kids who are all leaving, they're all starting to come back to Facebook. So that's interesting. So the next Facebook apparently is Facebook.
It is Facebook still, and you'll never get away. I really don't think there's going to be another Facebook. There's been too many that have been tried and just destroyed.
Yeah, Google just shut down their, what was it called? Started with an O. This is pre-Google Plus. This is back to MySpace
I don't
days.
even remember.
They created a social network. Started
Wasn't Omegle, was it?
No, something else. And it finally got closed down this week.
Well, not really shocking.
I don't remember. Yeah.
So, we got some Windows news?
I got some Windows news.
Drop it on me.
So, everybody knows we're all happy about Windows 8. We all love it, right?
Yes.
No, most of us don't. I
hate it, and I hate it because it's a nightmare, and for a technical aspect of things, it's great for, like, if I wanted to run a netbook or something, absolutely fantastic, because you can run Windows 8 with, like, 0 RAM, for the most part. It's very easy as far as operating goes.
It does a very good job.
But
Windows 9, which was announced, I mean, we all knew it was going to be announced when Microsoft started their WWDC or WW. God, sorry, that's Apple. The WPC, the Worldwide Partner Conference for Microsoft. Don't get those backwards.
All the people who program for us, basically.
Yeah, so, well, the Partner Conference is great, too, because you get to see kind of what their next fiscal year is going to look like. One of the announcements that came out after that, even, so this just came out this week, is a little glimpse into kind of what they're thinking. And their overall standing for Windows 9, it's going to run on all the different platforms, but more importantly, it will morph itself to fit your display.
Say what?
I don't know what that's going to mean necessarily. But it's going to morph itself. So if you're running a netbook, for example, something with an Atom processor or an ARM-based processor,
it'll automatically pick up and set itself for the best.
It'll optimize itself for that particular environment, for the display, for the processor, for the memory.
I would love to see how they're going to do that going forth, because that's, you know what that tells me?
It's a one unified operating system.
It tells me that there are going to be a horrible amount of driver updates for all the new technology that comes forward.
Yeah, but what it also means is that your BSOD will look perfect on every screen.
Absolutely. When it breaks, it'll look gorgeous. So,
but that's coming. So,
but I will use Windows 9. I do sign, and I live by the creed. Every other. It's the same thing. Call of Duty's the same way. Windows is the same way.
All you
every
Windows
other
7 people, look out.
Yeah,
Windows 9 is coming. So.
I lived through Vista. I'm good.
I'm actually but Windows 9's code name is called Threshold. For those of you that are curious,
I don't know how I feel about that.
It is a weird. That's
a very weird.
You know, back in the '90s, when I started beta testing for Microsoft, they were all city names. We had Chicago. That was Windows 95, for example. Windows 98 was. Oh wow! It just jumped out of my head.
Akron. I don't like.
No. It was.
Probably a really
Memphis,
boring city.
Memphis.
Oh, okay.
98 was Memphis. Even XP still kind of started the season because.
Yeah, but it was something about it was along the lines of Longhorn though too.
Well,
wasn't it?
So
because
Longhorn isn't what Windows XP was.
No, it wasn't.
A lot of people don't realize that Longhorn wasn't Windows XP.
Longhorn was what they were developing behind XP, and they never actually released it.
Longhorn never happened.
Everybody will swear that it's Vista, but it's not. We never got Longhorn.
It's not Vista either.
It got canceled. It was supposed to be some weird.
Well, so it was the operating system based on WinFS, and WinFS just never quite got there.
Nope.
And that's the biggest problem. So, I liked Longhorn. I liked the premise of Longhorn, and Vista was what Longhorn was supposed to be, but
it got ruined.
It was
7.
They Windows Millennium did a little bit. I mean, let's be honest, because it went really just down the rabbit freaking hole.
So you got some Amazon news for me?
I do. You know that Amazon Fire TV thing? Isn't that awesome? Don't you love that?
Oh, well, I heard it had a little bit of a problem.
Small glitch.
Glitch.
Apparently, until they fix the glitch, which by the way, it's
coming.
It may even be out by the time you see this episode potentially.
It's eating all of your bandwidth.
Yeah, so unplug that bastard when you're not using it.
Turn the Wi-Fi off, unplug it, whatever, because apparently it's pulling so much data in the background.
Now, if you want to know how much, one account, one Redditor talked about, he has a 250 gig limit. So
he was a reviewer too, yeah.
Comcast, maybe.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
So he got an email that you're approaching your limit, like day 2
he was
of
like,
his month billing cycle.
What?
What the hell? It was eating about 80 gigabytes a day.
Yeah, which is insane.
So, I mean, that's my kind of bandwidth. I mean, you're approaching me, because his 1 month was around a terabyte.
Just to throw it out there, I watch a lot of Netflix, and I probably eat up 120 gigs of Netflix a month.
Yeah, so I eat about 1.4 terabits a month. Now, to understand, I have a lot going on. I'm not just movie watching and stuff.
Yeah.
I have a small server farm. I have developers that log in remotely. I'm publishing services. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, depending on the month, I'm not going to lie.
But for one little device connected to Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon, that is a crazy amount of traffic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
that's
turn
like
it off.
That's like 10. No, that's not even 10 hours. That's probably 100 hours of Netflix streaming in good quality.
Easily.
That's
at 4 freaking K.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
brutal.
Because I think Netflix 4K is a 9 meg transmission.
It is. It's a 9
right?
meg. Yeah.
So I mean, it's that's like Voodoo's HDX. It's like 7.5. So yeah, that's freaking up there. Speaking of Microsoft.
Should I be watching them?
Oh, I see what you did there.
They're getting back in the game, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're saying getting back in the game.
Which is something he had to inform me on earlier.
No one remembers the MSN smartwatch. But
you mentioned it, and I was like, isn't that like 10 years ago?
About 10 years ago, MSN came out with a smartwatch, and you would get little stock updates and alerts and things like that.
It wasn't the prettiest thing.
But it was cool. The concept was great. The premise was perfect. The execution was not wonderful, and the adoption was just abysmal.
Terrible.
And they were like, so Bill Gates had one, and like 4 other people.
They Dreamcasted it, basically.
They did Dreamcast it.
So,
although Dreamcast was better execution.
Absolutely.
Dreamcast only
also running on a Windows operating system.
It was, I know.
Which is why it was so easy to hack them.
Yeah, the only problem with the Dreamcast is it had no marketing behind it, and because I still have my Dreamcast.
I do too, just in case I wanted to ever get on the free internet out there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to use dial-up, you can technically use dial-up these days for free. So
does NetZero still do that?
What?
Are they around? Remember them?
I don't even remember if NetZero's around, but I know if you have a Magic Jack and a Magic Jack phone number, you can log in to the old school internets from anywhere.
Oh wow.
Maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about that later.
There's a pile of crap.
So, what about this? Are they getting a new phone? Or new watch?
So there's a new Microsoft Watch coming.
Everybody's getting into the watch game.
We don't know when. We know nothing about it. All we know is they are going to do a Windows Watch. Here's my thought. You're going to see it in 6 months. Because when Microsoft rumors like this happen, they always happen at the tail end of a development cycle.
That's true.
And so my prediction is by Q1,
and so we're looking at March of next year.
You will see an actual for sale piece of
Wouldn't shock me. Now, the thing about Microsoft though, and Microsoft's hardware, don't buy the first one. Nope. Surface, all I'm saying. They're not bad now on their third round of it. But
well, the Pro is great. The RT is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's horrible.
So
Speaking of watches. So all the rumors about Apple getting an iWatch.
I want it to be true.
Well, so they hired somebody.
Really?
They did. They hired this guy. His name's Tag Heuer. He's Swiss. Do you know what he does?
I assume he sells watches.
Yeah, he's a sales exec for a watch company. So there's only one reason why they're hiring him, to lead the marketing and sales for the iWatch, or whatever they call it. iWatch.
You know what?
They're going to call it
They
iWatch.
were smart. They would get these 2 guys who were Google interns who also used to sell watches. Vince Vaughn.
Dude.
And I'm just so.
But they got a job. But they got a job at the Google because they're Googling. They're googly enough. They're definitely googly enough. But the reason we're even talking about the iWatch isn't because y'all already know the iWatch is coming. I mean, it's been all over the internet. This is not news to you. But the reason I brought it up is because the iWatch is why I believe the rumors, and I could be wrong, but it's why I believe the rumors that September launch for iPhone 6 is happening. So,
or whatever they're calling it at this point.
I have names for them both, too.
Do you?
Yes. So, iPhone 6 for the 4.7 and iPhone Air for the 5.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, is that official or is that rumor?
That's me saying...
Well, I remember you talked about that.
No, it's not official. You're not going to get official until about the...
No, 3 weeks out. I'm going to go
second week of
3 weeks
September.
out. I'm going to say 3 weeks from it.
Yeah.
From
that's right. So the Apple is expected around the second week of September to make the announcement official. And when
because they're notorious for showing up to the game and be like, so next week releasing this really expensive thing just to screw with your budget.
Yeah, it's usually the end of the week even. So they'll do the announcement on Monday. It'll go on sale on Friday, typically, and that's kind of how it does. Yeah. So look for that in September. But now, I truly believe it.
Which we had disagreeing opinions on this. You said it was going to go September for the phone.
Right, so I was thinking September for the phone, October for the iWatch, and November for the iPad.
And I think it's going to be a little bit different. I'm thinking September for the phone, October for the iPad, and November for the watch. And here's why. Because that watch is going to be the number, if it releases this year.
Oh, it'll be a big Christmas
gift. It'll be the huge Christmas gift item. And they'll put it out there, and they'll hook it up with all those crazy data specials for it, because you know that data ain't going to be free. So unless it's going to be weird connectivity to your...
It's not going to be weird connectivity. In fact, I guarantee Bluetooth? It will not use its own data
So it's just going to be Bluetooth and feed the data from your phone.
So here's the thing
So your data caps are all screwed.
If you guys, not necessarily, if you guys watched my recap of the WWDC, I talked a lot about the iOS 8 features and the OS X 10.10 features, right? One of those features is auto configuration of network joining between devices. Like if your iPhone's anywhere near your Mac and your Mac doesn't have Wi-Fi,
of course,
it'll get you on the internet. I think the watch is going to do
exactly
the same. I think
that just means you're going to be using more data.
But it's also, by the way, it's also why a lot of these NFC rumors may actually be true. And I've been one who has said over and over and over again that,
it's coming.
Well, Apple, I don't see abandoning their Bluetooth adaptation for iBeacon. I really just don't see that. But with the iWatch rumors, with some of the accelerometers that they're talking about adding, I mean, we're talking the heart monitors and all this other stuff.
I'm down. I'm going to get one. I'm right there.
Yeah, we might see
I want you to track my sleep on a crazy awesome watch.
I want it to look cool, though. I mean, I like watches, and that's the thing about the Motorola 360 that's just,
sexy.
I mean, it's gorgeous.
Sexy. It's gorgeous for a watch.
So,
it is super Dick Tracy.
But Apple tends not to make ugly hardware.
Except
it's
for
rare. Maybe the Newton. That was kind of.
Ooh.
That was
wow.
Or their game console. I can't remember what they called it, but you remember their game console from the 90s?
No.
Yeah, it was ugly too.
Don't remember that. I mean, the Apple II. And
4
stuff
people
like that.
had their game console.
I was going to say.
It was not good.
So I think that wraps it for us on Tech Bytes.
That's Tech Bytes. And so either way, I mean, it's July, people. So regardless of how close I am to dates, if you need to go ahead and start piggy banking your money if you're thinking about upgrading Apple stuff this year, because
it's going to be expensive and the price is going up.
And that's not the only thing that's happening. You're going to see a new iMac this fall. You're going to see updates to the MacBook and the MacBook Pro Retinas. You're going to see a brand new MacBook Air, because we didn't get to see one yet.
And they want to make it smaller. Well, lighter.
Right.
And thinner.
Which
that's
is
possible.
I still remember the first, and I don't own a MacBook Air, but I still remember the very first MacBook Air.
Oh, when they pulled it out of the freaking envelope, and I was like, what?
He's like, what's this? And he pulls a laptop out, and I was like, oh, jeez.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we will be back for Game Changer.
That's right.
We've got some fun news for you. We'll be talking about... I'm going to do a Watch Dogs retrospective.
So we've already talked about Watch Dogs, but apparently it's growing on our brother here.
It's a little bit of a slow burn, and we'll talk about that more tomorrow.
And I even have Game Changer stuff to talk about.
There it is.
I mean, wow.
So, guys, you will see a little button probably, I'm going to say about right here. And if you would do me a favor and click that button.
The subscribe button?
The subscribe button.
That's not where it is.
Where's it at?
It's in the upper right-hand corner of the video. Now, can you do right-hand corner right now?
Right-hand corner of the video.
Is that the right-hand corner of the video?
Right-hand corner of the video.
There you go.
I hope to God that when you put it in, you just decide to move it every time that my hand goes to. So, but yeah, make sure to click subscribe and like us on the Facebooks as well. So it's really easy. We're facebook.com/thatstupidpodcast.
That's really hard to remember.
We
have a phone number that's really hard too. I can't ever remember.
Stupid 9. All right, other than that, we're out here for Tech Bytes. We'll be back tomorrow with Game Changer.